What's going on, everyone? I'm Jaye the Black. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you like this video and share it. I'm going to talk about former first-round pick and current offensive lineman for the Tennessee Titans, Isaiah Wilson. Now, he is the same Isaiah Wilson from the infamous video where his girlfriend was sitting on his lap and his mother was trying to move her, and she sort of just yanked her off his lap. Right? I still think that was because, she didn't want him all on him while he was on while he was on TV. But, apparently his NFL career is over before it began. And the reason why I said this is because of a tweet that he decided to put out where he basically said that he was done playing football for the Tennessee Titans. This is a guy who left college after his redshirt sophomore season at the University of Georgia. Has all the potential in the world, has the size that the NFL looks for, right? But he doesn't have the mental makeup. Once these guys sign that contract and get that signing bonus, you just never know how are they going to remain hungry? Are they going to want it more? In some cases, these guys want it less. And that seems to be the case here with Isaiah. The Tennessee Titans has become a very good football team. Now, they had their issues dealing with CV this year, but they were one of the dominant teams throughout the season due to the running game. And if you ask any offensive lineman love when they can run the football. And when you have a guy the size of Isaiah Wilson, a guy who played on a team in Georgia that liked running the football, they've produced a lot of, very good running backs over the years. Even though you had Mark Richt there, now you have Kirby Smart there, but that mentality as far as featuring the running backs have still been there, so to speak, right? But he gets there and he's put on the CV list. You know why? Because he's out partying and he's jumping off balconies to evade police. Okay? This is a guy who really does not seem to care about football anymore. He's gotten his money and he just cares less and less about it. He's on boats partying with people, maskless. I mean, it is what it is about the whole maskless thing. But again, this is a guy who wants to do what he wants to do. And nobody's going to tell him differently. This is why he's tweeting out how he's done playing football for the Titans. Now, was he in the doghouse with the Titans? Yes. I don't even think he played a full game for the Titans last season. But he was still collecting a check. And after one season of him not doing hardly anything, he wants to talk about how he's done with the organization. See, this is what happens with social media. It makes these athletes truly believe they're more important than they really are. There are offensive linemen drafted every year. You can be replaced. You can be traded. You have not done anything in the NFL. Now, again, Isaiah Wilson could turn it all around next season. Because, again, this was basically a season where they had to change a lot of different things and protocols because of the CV. So I understand that. But for him to be so entitled, and he's the one getting in trouble. He's the one out here partying when they're telling these players that you might want to avoid social interactions. The same thing with Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins wanted to go to the script club after losing a game, knowing full well that one, watching the football team is in the glare of the Twitter mob, and two, you're the quarterback of the team. Why are you at the script club? You either care about football or you don't. Dwayne Haskins got released after 2 seasons, and the Redskins drafted him to be their franchise player. After 2 seasons, they got rid of him because they said, we can't do this. We're not going to do this. And I don't know why these players all of a sudden think that they have some sort of power that they can be lazy throughout the season. They can get in trouble, right? Get arrested. They partying with all these different people when they are specifically told by teams to avoid big social gatherings. You know why? Because it can be recorded. It can be put on social media to embarrass the team and embarrass you. When you know that the media doesn't like the fact that the NFL is going to play, they're upset about that, right? And you're out there like, I don't care. So for Isaiah Wilson, a guy who's shown no effort whatsoever this entire season, shows you that the guy doesn't have maturity. He's not a very mature guy. He lacks strong male figures. I believe he lacks strong male figures in his life. Because if he had that, he would not be as immature as he is. Now, he did, again, this is a guy who left after his redshirt sophomore season. Right? But still, do you want to play football or not? And to see this drama, because again, Tennessee, from my understanding, I don't think that they are really going out of their way to put him in the doghouse. I don't think they're going out of their way to make things bad with him, because they needed him to replace the offensive lineman that had left previously. That's why he was drafted where he was drafted. But you know what's crazy is that they still had a good season anyway. Their offense was still good. Their offensive coordinator got a head coaching job. And that was all without Isaiah Wilson. So he basically made himself expendable with that tweet. And maybe he sees the writing on the wall and he wants to get in front of it. But unless Isaiah Wilson is going to straighten up and get himself together, and let's say he does get traded to a new team, are things going to change? Is he going to be in the right frame of mind, or he's still going to want to party? Because unless he cares about football, he's not going to be successful. Because everything is out here for social consumption. Now, I know he's going to say, and again, this ain't a hate video towards Isaiah. This is a teachable moment. This is a very much so me just speaking to Isaiah and saying, listen, bro, you have your whole career in front of you. There's lots of money to be made as an offensive tackle. There's a lot of years you can play in this league. There are a lot of players who want to be in your position, and you're not understanding that. You are replaceable. There are good offensive linemen in the NFL draft every year. And yes, there are teams that are willing to take on other people's problems. But unless you change your mentality, you're not going to be successful. And that's not me hating. That's a fact. That's reality. That's reality. Now, when you saw him getting drafted last year, and you saw how emotional he was, you're thinking to yourself, wow, he's going to value the opportunities that he has. But he hasn't. Because he is taking what he has for granted. These guys think that they can just demand trades to wherever they want to go. That's what's going on all over the NFL. You got all these players trying to demand trades, and they want to go to this team and that team, and they don't understand that your replacement is in every draft of every year. And you're going to find yourself out of the league due to how you conduct yourself, because you're supposed to be you're supposed to self-motivate, especially when you are a pro athlete. You got to motivate yourself to get in condition before the season. You have to motivate yourself to be able to stay out of trouble. You have to motivate yourself to be able to come to practice ready to go, watch film, right? You have to self-motivate yourself. It seems to me that Isaiah Wilson got that signing bonus and said, you know what? I've made it. I want to enjoy this. I never had a lifestyle like this. You want to go and buy expensive chains. Do whatever you want to do. If you are not producing on the field, your career will not last long. I've seen where teams will cut second round picks, third round picks. That same year, I saw there was a team that released a guy who was with a second round pick. I believe the same year they drafted him. It might have been the same year or that next year, but they released him. You know, I've seen players that were first round picks that only played like 3 seasons. That's the most. Because their mentality, they didn't care about football. They just cared about being famous. They cared about the groupies. They cared about the partying. But they did not care about putting the work in. The way you make that lifestyle last last for a long time is for you to focus on football. Doesn't mean that you can't have fun, but you can have your fun in the off season. There are some guys that can have fun and play well. You know why? Because they care about football, but they want to unwind. Ain't nothing wrong with unwinding. But if you can barely get on the field your rookie year and you're a high value first round pick, that lets me know that something in your mental is not working for you. You're not connecting. It's not a conspiracy, bro. They want to see you succeed, but you have to want to see yourself succeed. They're not going to be self-motivating. You have to motivate yourself. You're getting an opportunity that thousands of other players would love to have. Or hundreds, thousands of players would love to have. But you have that opportunity and you're throwing it away. And now you want to tweet about how you're done with the organization. No, you're going to find yourself in a situation where the organization is done with you. And they have no more use for you. In any team you go to, you're going to be under a microscope. And they're going to be waiting for you to mess up. And when you do, you're going to find yourself out of a job. That's why you have to be a self-motivator. That's all I'm saying.